Hey there, Power Rangers and Sentai fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bandai's SH Figuarts Kyoryu Sentai Zero Ranger Dragon Ranger. Or in my case, it's going to be the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Green Ranger, so Tommy. This is a new release that just hit stores recently, or stores in Japan I should say. There is going to be a US version of this exact same figure with some accessory changes, and it will be labeled with the Mighty Morphin logo and everything, and I think they'll refer to it as Green Ranger, but basically Mighty Morphin is based off Kyoryu's Sentai Zero Ranger, so this is just the Japanese version of the same character. Figuarts boxes are all pretty much identical. They're very narrow, very small, not a whole lot of waste. I mean, they don't have any kind of card back or anything like that. They try to use the space as well as they can, and there's usually a pretty big window so you can see everything you're buying, which I really enjoy personally. I love window boxes. On the back, we've got some nice shots of the figure with the various option parts, as they call them. And you can see the bonus parts here with the Akiba Ranger logo. Which was a really funny episode of Season 2 of Akiba Ranger. But we'll get to that when we get to those parts. Let's get this guy out of package and see what he's like. And here's Dragon Ranger or Green Ranger outside of packaging. And I've got him posed with his sword and his dragon dagger in his sheath here on the side, which is very cool. Now, definitely some cool things going on with this figure. I do unfortunately have a very, very floppy right hip, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well, but this hip is just kind of doing its own thing, which is very unfortunate. I can't really do replacements easily because it is through Ami, so I don't know. I may just try and fix it with some glue, but it is a pain in the butt. So just so you know, there can be loose joints on these things, and unfortunately in the case of hips, that can sometimes ruin the posability because he can't really, see when I start moving his legs apart, he starts to dip a little. So that really sucks for me because I would like to do some more dynamic poses if I can. But still, very cool action figure on his own. They did a great job of replicating the costume. They did a glossier paint on the helmet. You can see all the painted details on the helmet are extremely well done. The silver on the teeth is separate from the white. In the past, sometimes, they've kind of just painted it all one color. But they did a very, very nice job here. All of the lines are very clean. The gloss of the helmet is, different from the matte of the costume. Very, very well done. The shield looks especially very nice. They kind of did sort of a gold, almost like pearlescent, almost type of metallic paint on there. Very, very cool. They just did a great job all over on this. You see the belt detail, how detailed that actually is. Come on, focus on it. There we go. See, they've got the little dragon coin symbol in there. Very, very cool. Yeah, awesome, awesome work. Yeah. Nothing but good things to say about this figure. No peg holes. That's usually, I think, pretty much usually the standard for Japanese toys. But now, size-wise, this is a non-scale figure, but it is in scale, or should be in scale with other Figuarts figures. So if I can scoot him back here, we will get a 6-inch Movie Masters in here. You can see it's a bit shorter than a Movie Masters figure, which they're already in the 6-inch. Like, they're what 6-inch should be. Most 6-inch figures now are getting a little bigger. But, he's somewhat in scale for a teenager. At least in the US, he was a teenager. But that's certainly not perfect. And here's a 7-inch figure, so you can see how big of a height difference we're really talking about here. So this guy is definitely going to fit more in with your other 5-inch figures more than 6-inch. So that may be an issue for some of you. I know a lot of people only try to collect one scale. If that's the case, if you don't have a 5-inch collection, then you may want to pass on this figure. But I don't mind scale differences because I don't really pose them all together or really want them to be part of the same world or anything. But yeah, so scale-wise, a little bit shorter than your average US figure, but right on par with what we're seeing in Japan. So let's get his little dragon dagger out of its sheath here, and we'll show you how good a job they did on this thing. I know some people have complained that the details are a little off on the hilt and stuff like that. For me, I've never seen this thing like close enough to say that that's you know, a big deal. For me, I think it looks great. They did a lot of great paint detail. This thing's so tiny, it's like hard to hold in my hands and actually show you all the details, but they did a great job. I mean, just fantastic work. I mean, nothing at this scale. I mean, like, how tiny is this compared to my thumbnail? Look how tiny these details are that they actually painted, and painted well. Like, these are not sloppily painted details. Very nicely done. I really dig that. And he's also, I don't know what it was in the Japanese show, but in the US show, when he first showed up, he was a bad guy. And this is the sword he carried at the time. And this is very well done also. They got a really nice metallic, come on, focus. Really nice metallic paint there. Very cool. The black on there is very cleanly applied. You can see that is completely see-through. You see my finger back there? Very cool. That goes all the way through the sword. I dig that a lot. And then the tassel here on the end, unfortunately does not hang. So it will just, like, even if you've got it upside down or sideways, it's still gonna, you know, stick straight out. You just pop this right onto his waistband here, and then just pop him back together. Man, that is a big ball joint to be doing this with. That is tough. Okay. So he is reconnected here, and there is a plug if you want to swap the Dragon Dagger over. You can plug it right there in on the side. But yeah, the neck, it looks like that's going to be a lot... Oh, actually, it's not that bad. Okay. It's just the head popped off a little too quickly before. So you just pop that neck piece out. Take your new neck piece and make sure you get the Adam's apple lined up. You want the stripes on the, I guess, if he's looking out, the left side of his head. And then you just pop this right back here. And there you go. Now you've got the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger version of the Dragon Ranger. So, very funny. Like I said, it's a funny episode. This is like just a total, like, inclusive thing they didn't have to do. I'm guessing they're probably trying to drive people to buy multiples. But yeah, very neat little addition there. A lot of the Figuarts right now from the Sentai series are coming with these Akiba Ranger bonuses, which is just, it's very fun. This guy is cool. No slouch in the posing department. We've got a swivel hinge, swivel type neck. So you can see in his base of his skull here, he's got a joint that allows him to do all kinds of things, swivel, tilt, things like that. And then at the base of the neck, we've got a ball joint. So if I hold his neck tightly, you can see that's on its own joint there. But combined, they create this wonderful bit of movement that allows his head to do all kinds of really great things. Looking very far up, tilt to the sides, very far down, as you can see. Very cool stuff. The shoulders are a little more complicated in that basically they've got a ball joint armature inside here, and then a free-floating, you can see his shoulder piece inside here. This is a free-floating piece that just kind of covers up the joint. So there's a ball joint in here, and then out here we've got a hinge that goes like that, in and out, and it will rotate at the point of the ball joint inside the body, but that ball joint also allows for this great rotation right here as well. And then at the top of the shoulders, where it meets the swivel, it likes to cover it up, where it meets the swivel there, that gives us a rotation point here as well, so his arm will go in and out. So very nice. You can see there's a lot of great rotation there. Double jointed elbows, which gets you about that much range. Very nicely done. The interior of the elbow underneath is cut out so that it will increase the range there. Figuarts is pretty smart about not just including articulation, but making sure that it's useful. So it was very smart of them to dig that out a little bit, and it doesn't interfere with the sculpt too much. We've got swivel hinge, swivel wrists. It's actually a swivel hinge ball, but the ball on the end is just for the ease of swapping the hands, so it's not really like a big deal. There's not going to be any extra mobility there. So we've got, see, the swivel goes all the way around, and then there's a hinge, and then another swivel on the inside of the hand. So you can pretty much pose his hands however you want. There's no real limitation there. And as I said, just pop the hands right off like that. Pop on new hands. Pretty simple stuff. as far as his hands go, we do have a lot of different ones, and I'll show those in just a second. But I want to go through articulation first. We've got a ball-jointed torso here. You can see a lot of nice movement there. And we've also got the ball-jointed waist, which offers a ton of back movement. Not quite as much forward, but still quite a bit. And then we've got great side-to-side action. Tons of mobility in the midsection. Very cool. We've got the ball-jointed hips, which go forward, back, blocked by the butt here, out. And then they're on a hinge inside the crotch here so that they can pull down. And what that will allow you to do is give him higher kicks. So he can do, like big cool kicks now, or if you wanted to crouch him, that makes it a little easier to get his knees up closer to his body. Very, very cool stuff. Oh, and there's a swivel inside the thigh here, so you can see it'll rotate on the ball joint and it can rotate on the swivel. So very, very cool. We've got double hinged knees. Now, unfortunately, they do work very well, but the knee is set so far up in the thigh that when you push this top part back, look how much that's going to stick out. So when you pose the knee, if you pose that top joint, it sticks out very far. This is the first time I've seen Figuarts look this obvious with their joint. That's really obvious to me. So if you get his knee going back like that, it just kind of looks a little weird. It definitely makes it look more like a toy. So not the biggest deal in the world, but I am surprised that they did that because I've never seen them do that sort of thing before. But as I said, great range of motion there. The best that they could get with this figure. Very, very nicely done. We've got swivel hinge, swivel ankles. So they go all the way around. They hinge. And then the other swivel is on the interior of the foot, just like the Hasbro Marvel Legends that they're doing now. So when you go out to the side, basically you turn the foot, and then you can turn the entire apparatus to make him flat-footed. And that works very, very well. I like this style of feet that they've been doing. It's very good. And then hinge toes for people who enjoy those. I personally do not like them, but for the ones who want them, yeah. And as I said, the only issue I've had with this figure is the loose hip. Normally I don't have much problem with Figuarts figures in this regard, but that is a very, very loose hip, so that is unfortunate. And as I said, it's from Ami Ami, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get a replacement very easily. But yeah, figure itself, very cool. And I said it comes with a lot of hands. It does come with packaged fist hands, which, here they are. The fists are what you would expect, fists. Nice detail on the back of the gloves and everything. The lining there, you can see. We've got kind of grabby hands. We've got, there's two grabby hands, two fists. We've got this hand, if it will focus, which is to work with his dragon flute. So you can put his dragon flute in there, and it looks like he's playing notes on the keys here. I don't know if they have a special name. Seems like they do, but I don't remember. But the keys, you blow into the little mouthpiece there and play the note. Very cool. And we've got a set of small open hands for grabbing. We've got the just a circle drilled through the hand, which I think is for the dragon dagger. I don't know why they included two different types of grabbing hands, because the hilts aren't too much bigger than each other. So I don't know why they would need two different versions. But they do have like an open hand with a drill, just drilled through, you can see. And then another set of hands that's like grabby, but has a split where the thumb meets the finger so that you can, I guess, grab larger things. But he doesn't come with anything really that much larger to grab. So I think you just could have done this series, left out the drilled through hands, and you would have been fine. But whatever. It's not for me to decide. So yeah, I think that's all the hands, except for the left one here, which I'm not sure. I guess that's maybe a signature pose, or that could be to help with the dragon flute. I'm not sure, but yeah. So this figure was about, I believe, $26 when I got him, which for a Japanese figure of this caliber is an excellent deal. In the US, this same figure, I believe, is going on BBTS and Amazon for about $45, and the only difference will be that it has the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers packaging. So for that kind of price difference, it was a no-brainer for me, at least, to get it from Ami Ami. I saved a lot, and shipping is pretty reasonable from them as well. Ami Ami does a great job with shipping, but yeah, a really well articulated action figure, perfectly faithful to the design in my opinion. Great fun accessories for people who are fans of Akiba Ranger. Character specific accessories for fans of the Sentai or Mighty Morphin show, and all these great hands. $26, perfectly acceptable for a figure of this caliber. Just absolutely right on. I don't know if it is still available at Ami Ami, but if you get the opportunity to pick it up there, they usually have pretty great discounts on their items. So, yeah, that's it for this figure. If you have any questions or comments about him, I would love to answer them for you. Just throw them down in the box below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks to all the subscribers. I just saw that we got over 1,000 viewers. So very, very cool. I appreciate you guys so much for subscribing. 1,000 subscribers is more than I ever could have hoped for, so I'm very happy about that. We'll probably do another contest soon just to thank you guys for your continued, I don't know, not exactly patronage, but for sticking around, your loyalty. There we go. So thanks, guys, for that. And if you get the opportunity, check out the Gothotropolis Ravens Kickstarter page from Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen does DCUC, Ghostbusters, Masters of the Universe Classics, Gothotropolis, all kinds of great stuff. They're doing a Kickstarter for their Ravens series. I'll put the link in the box below, and you can check that out at your leisure if you'd like to. They offer some pretty great incentives for joining up. So thanks, guys, and I appreciate it. I will talk to you later. Bye.